One second. One second. One second. There we go. Right, I'm back. Lovely. Nathan, using... Right, which way around shall I do this? Would you please say for me, unfortunately, there had been an accident. Unfortunately, there had been an accident.
Malheureusement, elle avait vu un accident.
Say it again.
Malheureusement, il avait eu un accident.
Il y avait eu, yeah.
Il y avait eu un
Say
accident.
for me, there is.
Il y a.
The E is present. Say for me, there will be.
Il y aura.
Good. The E is present. Say for me, there had been an accident.
Il y avait eu un accident.
Good. Say for me, there's going to be an accident. There's going to be an accident.
Il y aura un accident.
No, that's there will be an accident. Say for me, there's going to be an accident. This is interesting, isn't it? Stand still. Stand still. Say for me, Maggie, he eats.
Il mange.
He eats. We're not doing Spanish, not elle. Il mange, off you go.
Il mange.
Say for me, he's going to eat.
Il va manger.
How did we know to use va? Because the subject was il. Say for me, he eats it.
Il mange.
Say for me, he's going to eat it.
Il va manger. Il va le manger.
Don't do it with your teeth, do it with your tones. Don't do it with your teeth, do it with your tones. Il va le manger. Do it with your hon. Don't speak it with your teeth, speak with your hon. Il va le manger.
Il va le manger.
Lovely. So we know that we can pop a first verb before our verb of choice in the infinitive. Maggie, say for me, he has to eat it.
Il doit le manger.
Stuart, say for me, he can eat it.
Il peut le manger.
Lovely. So Tom, say for me, there's going to be.
Il va être.
No, what's there is. What's there is. What's the expression there is?
Oh, il y a. Il y a.
Which pronoun? So just answer this. Which pronoun are we using in il y a? What's the pronoun sitting in the middle?
I.
Good. And what's the verb that we're using of choice?
Va. Allez.
In il y a.
Avoir.
Good. So say for me, there's going to be. There's going to be a problem.
Il va avoir un problème.
No. Why is the E coming? Go back to Maggie's example. Did we put...
Oh, because, yeah, il va y avoir un problème.
Good. That's a bit new for all of you, I imagine, isn't it? Say for me, il va y avoir un problème. Il va y avoir un problème.
Il va y avoir un problème.
Good. Colin, say that what we've just said, there's going to be a problem. Il va y avoir un problème.
Il va y avoir un problème.
Good. Colin, say for me, he's going to eat. Present tense, he's going to eat.
Il va manger.
Nice accent. Say for me, he was going to eat. First verb in the imperfect now. He was going to eat. I fucking hate you all. What is the slogan I need, Colin, for the was tense? What's the slogan? What's the sound I mainly need for the was tense?
A, E, Ion.
That's it. A. Don't worry about Ion and EA until I need you for it. What is the tense? What is the verb to be? Shut up, Luke, you fool. What is the verb to go?
Aller.
Great. Does it already end in an A?
Yes.
Good. So say for me in 2 words, he was going.
Il allait.
In a slide. That's better.
Il allait.
Now
Il
say
allait.
for me, he was going to do it. He was going to do it.
Il allait le faire.
Good job. So we're acknowledging that if we want to use il with the verb to go, with a was, it's going to be il allait. Say for me, there was going to be. Suspend disbelief, because when you use there is, there was, there will be, you keep using il, singular, il. So don't worry, just deal with that as your subject pronoun and say for me, there's going to be. Sorry, there was going to be a problem. There was going to be a problem, but Luke solved everything. There was going to be a problem. Il
est.
Ah,
Il est.
what's there was going? You've just done it. What's the he was going?
Oh, il allait.
Yeah. So say for me, there was. Yeah, up you go. There was going to be a problem.
Il allait être une problème.
No. Why are we going back to etre? You're as bad as Tom. Why are we using etre? Say for me, there is.
Il est.
There is. There is.
C'est.
There is. How do you say there is a boy?
Il y a.
Thank you. What verb are we using?
Avoir.
With which pronoun?
I.
Thank you. There was going to be. There was going to be.
Il y avait.
No, there was going.
Il y allait.
You're fucking pissing me off. Say for me, he's going. Just say he's going.
Il va.
He's going to do it.
Il va le faire.
Why is that comfortable for you guys? But if I want you to say I instead of the le and avoir instead of the faire, yeah, we're keeping the I before the avoir because it's going to be the second verb. Yeah, when we have the second verb, the pronoun goes before that infinitive. Yes, Colin? Do you see what I mean by that? So I and avoir are not going to come out of your mouth until you have completed your first verb. And when we say there is, although we are saying there, we are going to say it there has, it there was having, it there will have, it there would have had. So we're using the it and the go. So how would you say he was going, which is the same as it was going? How would you say that? Il. You've just done it.
Il allait.
Good. Il allait. So Maggie, can you now say for me, there was going to be a problem?
Il y allait un problème.
No, will you stop? You dumb fucking cunts. Stop popping the E first.
Il allait un problème.
No. Il allait y what?
Il allait y avoir un problème.
That's the fucker. Now, that might feel new for you, but let me remind you how this works. This is a class. Lukey gives you new shit. You learn it. You go, oh, lovely, Luke. Here you go. Have some cash. So, yeah. Okay. Let me teach you all a trick. Maggie, say for me, he has.
Il a.
Pop the E in it. Say for me, there is.
Il y a.
Tom, say for me, there was. Sorry, he was. It had in the imperfect tense. It had. Il
avait.
Pop an E in it for me, please.
Il y avait.
There was. Stuart, say for me, he will have. He will have. Plain and simple, just he will have.
Il aura.
Lovely. Pop an E in it for me and say for me, there will be.
Il y aura.
Lovely. Will you please, who's just done it? Oh, she's done it before, but we can do it again. So Colin, will you please say for me, he would have. He would have.
Il aurait.
Good, nice accent. Would you please pop an E in it for me and say, there would be.
Il y aurait.
Lovely. Denise, is that you with the landscape picture?
Yeah, yes, you can't see me.
Lovely. You can hide, but I'll fucking find you.
No.
I know. I'm teasing.
I can see my photo.
Could you say for me, I will find you. Could you please say for me, it's interesting that he has. It's interesting that he has.
C'est intéressant qu'il ait.
Good. Will you now say it's interesting that there is? Just pop an E in it.
C'est intéressant qu'il ait.
Lovely. Nathan, will you say for me before having, which is the infinitive on the top line, before having?
Avant d'avoir.
Would you say before being a problem? Avant d'être.
Avant d'être.
No, sorry. Yes, sorry. Before there was a problem. Avant d'y, so what's the trick that we've just been doing? We've been popping E in everything we've been doing, haven't we? So avant d'avoir, pop an E in there.
Avant d'y avoir un problème.
Lovely. Okay. Stuart, say for me, bottom line. No, let's stay on the top line for a bit. Say for me, he has to have. He has to have.
Il doit y avoir.
No, you're going one step ahead of me. Just say for me, he has to have. Il doit avoir.
Oh.
And again, il doit avoir.
Il doit avoir.
Now make it, there must be a problem.
Il
There
doit
must be a, that's it.
y avoir.
That's it. You can play around with that. It's still going to give you a variance on the il y a. All right. Lovely. Maggie, will you? Tom looks thrilled by this. He's like, oh, this is clever, Luke. I like this. Maggie, can you say for me, he should have. He should have.
Il devrait avoir.
Nice voice, Maggie. Well done. Now, could you please say for me, there should be. Just pop a fucking E in there.
Il devrait y avoir.
Lovely. Colin, say for me, he could, travelling into the conditional, not the past could. He could have. He could have.
Il pourrait avoir.
Lovely. Could you pop an E in there in the necessary place, people? And could you say for me, there could be. There could be.
Il pourrait y avoir.
Lovely. We often with that use bien. Il pourrait bien y avoir. There could well be. Il pourrait bien y avoir. Could you see how that would work? Ouais, il pourrait bien y avoir un problème. Yeah, il pourrait bien y avoir un problème. Lovely. Say for me, Tom, he has, it's interesting that he has had, so subjunctive past, it's interesting that he has had.
C'est intéressant qu'il ait eu.
Il y a eu. I thought I was going to get to ring my bell on the and sound, but no, we were fine. It's like, damn. Do you remember I said we've all got to get a glass of something ready for you? Oh, good boy. Good boy. Do you remember the and game? Because what do I always find? I feel we need to, the first person that shouts it out and calls it other than the person that says it gets to drink. And then when I always say, how do we pronounce wine? That's when we all have to go, yay, and neck. Oh dear. Maggie just presses twice and the one that's in her little, sort of like directly into her fucking, her little line that she's got fitted, her perfusion, her, she's intubated with it. Lovely. So, yeah, so carry on then. So pop an E in the middle of it, Tom. So say to me, it's interesting that there has been a problem.
C'est intéressant qu'il ait eu un problème.
Il y a eu.
Il y a eu un problème. C'est intéressant qu'il y ait eu un problème.
Lovely. Try and say it smoothly. It's not like Kyrie eleison. Like say like il y a eu un problème.
Il y a eu un problème.
Lovely. Totally normal French, people. It breaks people's brains when you say il y a eu. There's been a problem. Okay. Also, while we're there, we know when was isn't was. When was is an action. There's been an accident. It ain't going to be il y avait. Yeah, or there was an accident, pardon me. Sorry, there has been is very obviously going to be il y a eu. Yeah, there was an accident. All of a sudden, il y a eu. That breaks people. You're so fan of il y a and il y avait, but yeah. Lovely. Denise, after having... For him, after having.
Après avoir.
No, after having, après avoir.
Oh, après avoir eu.
We're on the bottom line, aren't we? Slide it through, Denise. Give it me all in one go. Après avoir eu.
Après avoir eu.
Lovely. Pop the pronoun in necessarily. So after the being.
Après y avoir eu.
Good. Okay. Well remembered, because most of the time, when you have an additional pronoun, it cancels the ze, doesn't it? Après avoir, après être, gets cancelled with après m'avoir, après m'être. Après y avoir eu would preserve the ze. Good touch, Denise. Lovely. So next subject on the same subject. Breathe. Nathan, is there a problem as an inversion?
Y a-t-il un problème?
Go again.
Y a-t-il un problème?
Good. Make sure that we are very cleanly saying y a-t-il, not il y a-t-il. Yeah, we don't have an il on either side. Lovely. Stuart, was there a problem as an inversion?
Y avait-il un problème?
Good. Notice, peeps, that when you use the corruption, the slang of there is, it is ya. Y a un problème. Notice the inversion is y a-t-il un problème. Both start with a Y. Yeah, because the corruption, ouais, y a un problème. We don't say, you don't say il y a un problème all the time. Oh putain, il y a un problème. We don't say il y a un problème, we drop it off, all right? Maggie, will there be a problem? Will there be a problem as an inversion?
Y aura-t-il un problème? Un problème?
Un problème, that's it. That's it. So what we're doing here is very, very sneaky. Colin, an inversion is the first verb said as in pole position in the sentence, the first verb. It might be the only verb. Nathan, hold the fucking handle. We are not chavs or nabbies. You're doing a literature fucking masters. Did you fucking see that, people? I mean, I don't expect a fucking pinky finger, Nathan, but you can fucking hold the fucking handle. My God. My God.
It's too small. I have big hands.
As hot as that is, we don't. That's much better. Good God. Nathan messaged me going like, oh, hey, Luke, I'm going to be in, like, I would come and see you in fucking Paris anytime, Nathan. You don't need to fucking, like, you know, it to be in London. If you wanted some company, just shout. But Nathan was like, oh, I might be in London, Luke, like, for a bit. Would you fancy, like, a coffee or something? And I think I sent some message. I was carrying something at the time, so it might have sounded like I was ejaculating. I really wasn't. I was carrying some wood. No pun intended. And I was like, yeah, fucking alcoholic drink. I was like, I'm not meeting someone after several years of knowing them and having a fucking cup of coffee. So, yeah. But yeah, pinky fingers, please. So, lovely. So the point is, Colin, when we do an inversion, we are, which is not always Auntie Lukey's favourite method, is it? Let's be frank. We are going first verb in first place. So, Colin, what is you want? Plain and simple, what do you want? Just normally, you want. Don't think about it. What do you want?
Qu'est-ce que tu veux?
No. Just plain and simple. You want. You want.
Tu veux? Veux-tu?
Thank you. Now, what's the inversion of tu veux? What's that?
Veux-tu?
Great. What is you have spoken? 3 words you have spoken.
Tu as parlé?
What is have you spoken? First verb goes first, even though it's the auxiliary. What's have you spoken?
As-tu parlé?
Lovely. Now, this is what breaks brains. But just think you've been doing it just. What, Colin, is you have eaten it? What you have eaten it?
Tu l'as mangé?
Well, lovely. Listen to Auntie Lukey. The pronoun sticks with the auxiliary verb. Because just because you're inverting it, we still have bits before verbs. We haven't changed the situation. We haven't got an infinitive all of a sudden. We've merely changed the order of the words. So if we had a pronoun stuck before verb number 1, the fact that we are now starting with verb number 1 makes no difference. So in other words, if we've got tu as, but with the le stuck on the side of the as face, pris, and we say we had, Colin, tu l'as pris, and I asked you to invert that sentence, what would you come up with?
L'as-tu pris?
Thank you. Which is completely fucking vile, because, say for me, Colin, eat it. How would you say eat it?
Mange-la.
Or mange-le, lovely. But you're obviously thinking about pizza, which is why you're so fucking obese, which is why I have to keep having words with you. So the fact is, you guys instinctively go, oh no, no. We don't like to pop a pronoun at the beginning of a verb. We like to go mange-la. You know, the only time we would pop a pronoun at the beginning of a verb in other circumstances would be were it to be safely ensconced within the protective nest of the negative adjective, the negative adverb. So how would you please say for me, Tom, don't do it, Luke? That's hot. That brings back memories for us. So say to me, don't do it, Luke. Don't do it, Luke.
Ne le fais pas, Luc.
Lovely. The minute we have a le on its own, we go, oh no, fuck, that's fucked up. No, that shit ain't there. Do you take my point? But it can be on an inversion. Not always what I would say. As you know, I'm not really the queen of inversions, but like, now I'm thinking yoga inversions. I'm quite good at them. Privately in other ways. But basically, yeah. But the fact is, yeah, so, do you get this? That's better, Nathan. I feel you've come forward 50 years. It's like Bigfoot and the Hendersons when they teach him to drink tea. Good. All right, so pause. So quick reminder then. Do we know some additional work with there is? Have we learned some additional things that we can do with there is? Il y a, il y avait, il doit y avoir, il pourrait bien y avoir. Yeah, we can use other verbs. We can use modals. Tom, just go straight to there shouldn't be a problem. There shouldn't be a problem.
There should or there shouldn't be?
There shouldn't be a problem.
Il n'aurait pas dû y avoir un problème.
Say for me, he should have. He should have in 3 words.
Avoir.
Now say for me, he shouldn't have.
Il n'aurait...
We have now. Listen, what's throwing you is that the have here is when you say he shouldn't have. When you go il aurait pas dû, it's when the have is an auxiliary. He shouldn't have eaten past participle. On this occasion, he shouldn't have. It's just have as your main verb. Yeah. So what is he shouldn't have?
Il ne devrait pas avoir.
Spot on. Spot on. Be very careful. I need to do a video on this actually. Be very careful when you hear have in the English for stuff, or hads or anything, or have to. The first problem is that you guys forget whether you're talking auxiliary or not. The second problem is when you confuse have and have to. Yeah. And that could also have an auxiliary. Yeah. You know, best explained by the beautiful English. You know, the problem he had an effect on his, you know, like we can have 4 hads, can't we, in all of this business? Yeah. So yeah, so be careful whether you're talking had as an auxiliary, have as an auxiliary. Yeah. Had as a past participle, had to, have to. Just be open to all of those possibilities again. So could you say it for me, Tom? He should have a problem. He should have a problem. No, sorry, he shouldn't have a problem. Negative. He shouldn't have a problem.
Il ne devrait pas avoir un problème.
Lovely. Now use that game and pop in a little cheeky E and say there shouldn't be a problem.
Il ne devrait pas y avoir un problème.
Now, doesn't that feel badass big boy French? Good. I'm going for a slash, a well-earned slash, and you're going to talk amongst yourselves. In English is completely fucking fine, and when we get back, we'll do some sentences. All right? Good. I thought we'd have a little learning zone at the beginning. Yeah. You should have fucking seen the last group, and I sprung that on them. God, it was like Shelley Long in fucking, like, you know, when Jack Nicholson's coming through the fucking door. It was just this screaming, fearful face. I'll be right back. Just give me 1 second. Oh dear. 1 second. I need one of those.
Thomas, I like your Pasolini poster.
Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, it's very catty, but it was a gift from a friend years ago that I first watched Pasolini with. So I kind of keep it as it gets more and more battered, but there's something kind of Pasolini-esque about how shitty it's become.
Yeah, that's perfect. There's a Pasolini square somewhere by me, but I don't remember where.
In Paris?
I mean, it's like I'm like an hour south of Paris.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they love him in France, like really, like, because I read about him. I published about him a little bit, and I thought I was going to have to learn Italian, and then I realized that everything that wasn't translated into Italian is translated into everything that isn't in English is in French. They just like they have like encyclopedias about Pasolini. He's like, yeah, they really like him here. Oh.
I learned something by listening to one of Luke's lessons. What is the city with the largest French-speaking population?
What is the city with
French-speaking population?
the largest?
Yeah.
It's not Paris.
Is it like Montreal or something?
What?
Is it Montreal?
That's on. That may be 3 or 4. That may be number 3 or 4.
Is it Beijing?
Good.
Nope.
It's in Africa, right?
Right.
What is it?
I believe it's Kinshasa.
Oh, Kinshasa.
Because it's gigantic. It used to be the Belgian Congo, then it was Zaire, but they speak French. But I don't know if their accent it was Belgian and French. But Luke was talking to one of his students, and he for some reason he threw that out there. So we'll all surprise him if he throws it back. But he said that the issue is that there's 220 million French speakers worldwide, 220 million. And the majority of them are in Africa. And it's only going to get more concentrated. And there's some concern about that. One of the largest speaking, one of the top 10 was, one of the top 10 is Port-au-Prince. And their French is almost, it's very hard to hear. Very hard for me to understand.
Yeah, it does seem like there's more variation in French than in like English. I wonder why that is, if it's just historical like time periods or the language is mixed more earlier. I don't know.
I mean, we're in. I mean, we can hear the difference between London, British, and Scottish, and Irish accent and Welsh. We can understand it, right? And from India,
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
What are we discussing? It sounds about accents. It sounds interesting.
Accents, English and French accents around the world.
As in different French accents.
Stuart was mentioning in Haiti, and we were talking about Quebec and Africa.
Yeah, it's a really interesting statistic. But so people love to say that London is the 6th biggest city for French speakers, is what they say. Ils disent tous qu'effectivement que Londres, c'est la 6e ville pour de la francophonie. Voilà. And they're right if you include Great Britain and France. Et ils ont raison, effectivement, si on va inclure la France et le Royaume-Uni. But if you go through the top 10 in terms of population French-speaking cities in the world, si vous allez quand même inclure les plus grandes villes francophones au niveau mondial, the majority of them, and I mean the majority of them, aren't in France. You know, you've obviously got Paris, Marseille on there, but you've got loads. And so because of this, in terms of population, there is more French, a little bit the way our English has been ruined, because it's that fucking colony that like fucking chooses to use English as its official language. Because like there's more French, so there's more American English on the internet than there's British English for obvious reasons. There's more African French in terms of literally pages. So there's an argument which is English culture has access to American culture in the way that French culture in Africa doesn't leak into France as much, other than people with a family connection over there. It's not as, you know, the osmosis culturally is not quite the same rate. But statistically, you get change within a language, an evolution in a language based on speakers. And yeah, and so there's more changes and things happening in France in French. And it doesn't normally touch most people unless you go and do a Nathan and then you go, oh, somebody's going to write some post-colonial fucking literature and we'll all have to go and read it and, you know, read about like Pied Noir and their, you know, their bi-identities between, you know, am I French, am I Algerian, what am I, and all this kind of writing, which is fine, but a bit second generation now and we've kind of moved on. But yeah, it is. People really forget just how much French is spoken in other places, like really in terms of numbers and population. So I'll find that towards the end of the class. I'll get it out for you. Really fucking. And there's also what people always love is that there's a French. There's a city which is called Ouagadougou, which people think we're taking the fucking piss, but there is a city legitimately called Ouagadougou, which I think is brilliant. So let's go. So say for me, Nathan, it's interesting, Luke. Can you show it us later, please? It's interesting, Luke. Can you show it us later, please?
C'est intéressant, Luc. Peux-tu nous montrer plus tard?
I don't like peux-tu. Tu peux nous. I don't like inversions for that. Tu peux nous la montrer plus tard. Tu peux nous la montrer because it's a feminine list. Tu peux nous la montrer plus tard, s'il te plaît.
Tu peux nous la montrer plus tard, s'il te plaît?
What's the word for please?
S'il te plaît.
Better. What did you say?
S'il te plaît.
Do I like that?
No.
No. S'il te plaît, s'il vous plaît. The il is doing the pleasing, not you. Because if you think about it, if the tu were doing the pleasing and the vous were doing the pleasing, it wouldn't be the same verb, would it? Yeah? S'il te plaît. Say s'il te plaît.
S'il te plaît.
Good. Not tu. Colin will be shaking because we had a big fucking fallout over tu and tu. Good. Nathan, another one. Following what you've just said, I'm going to go and look for it myself. Following what you've just said, I'm going to go and look for it myself.
Suite à ce que tu viens de dire, je vais chercher moi-même.
Tout seul. Now, you need to very much, Nathan, massively listen to private classes with Elizabeth, Jason, particularly Jason, because he didn't like it, and although he did very well with it, Lizzie, because I've pushed them this week on which words we stress. So to remind you, we want to be in the dark on words that we're not pushing. Okay? So, and also sentences don't all have the same power. So say for me, Nathan, Luke, I'm really happy that you've done it. It's a good idea. Which, off the top of your head, here's your human existence. Which words there are going to push your human existence? Luke, it's a really good idea you've done, and I'm really glad you've done it, Luke. It's a good idea, or something like that. Which words there are going to give you the stress?
Luke, I'm really glad you've done it. It's a good idea.
Lovely. I don't want to hear any interest apart from those words. Ouais, Luc, c'est vraiment une bonne idée. Luc, je suis vraiment content que tu l'aies fait. C'est une bonne idée. I want to hear blur on everything else.
Luc, je suis vraiment
good. I want to hear absolute oral apart from the clear words.
Okay.
Have we go?
Luc, je suis vraiment content que tu l'as fait.
No, it's all still neat. It's all too neat. It's not age appropriate for you. Moi, je suis ravi que tu l'aies fait. Have two voices. Clean, crisp, clear, neat on the words you're stressing. Piece of shit on the words you're not. Oh putain, je suis ravi que tu l'aies fait. Je suis ravi que tu l'aies fait. It's like saying, oh, jolly good. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's like literally almost going to have two voices. I shouldn't joke about that, what with the ex-husband, but yeah, you have two voices inside your head. So say for me, oh putain, je suis ravi que tu l'aies fait. Je suis ravi que tu l'aies fait.
Oh putain, je suis ravi que tu l'as fait.
Lovely. Notice we can blur and not be interesting. We call it having the light off. Slowly. Oh putain, je suis ravi que tu l'aies fait. It's just not interest on it. Yeah. This will give you more power when you're in your seminars to stress the things you want to stress. It's all very terribly interesting. Firstly, it sounds wrong, and secondly, it sounds fucking chipper as fuck. Yeah, no one's that fucking happy. All right, good. Lovely. So think about that, people. Go slowly enough in your first sentence to be able to possibly allow yourself the opportunity to push the things you want. It's a very nice thing to do. Good. Stuart, it's a good idea, Luke, to get used to it because people aren't always going to stress certain words. It's a good idea, Luke, to get used to it because people aren't always going to stress certain words.
C'est une bonne idée d'habituer.
Pause, just go again. You weren't too wrong, but let me hear it. C'est une bonne idée de what comes next?
D'habituer.
We're missing a reflexive. That is reflexive with an A. Well done on the pronoun. Well done on the E. Yeah? But that's it. It's an ABC. Quick reminder, you might be in your muscle memory and your mind mapping be thinking of the adjective être habitué à, je suis habitué à, which has no reflexive, which also takes j'y suis habitué or something like that. Okay, but the process is reflexive. Yeah, so ça me c'est une bonne idée de m'y habituer. Oh, sorry, de s'y habituer because it's general people. Your choice is nicer. C'est une bonne idée de s'y habituer. Off you go.
C'est une bonne idée de s'y habituer.
Lovely, because let's just say because no, what should we say? Because certain words are never stressed. Because certain words are never stressed. Just go with that. Because certain words are never stressed.
Parce que certains mots
are never stressed.
Jamais.
Good. So from a distance, off the top of your head, which word's going to be stressed? I mean, certain words are never stressed. Which words get stressed? Oh, and that part and why?
Never.
Good, because it's an adverb. So I want you to blur for me, Stuart. Parce que certains mots sont jamais, remember that we're going to have this two-tone approach. Certains mots sont jamais stressés. And remember, in English, we have a percussive beat before the stress word. Maggie says to her daughter, you know, I've told you 3 times to put the fucking trumpet away. Okay? In French, mais putain, mais je t'ai dit 3 fois de ranger ta trompette. Yeah? We slide into the word that we're going to stress. Don't have to beat the stress, drag it out. So I want Stuart drag all the way through still. Yeah? Parce que certaines personnes, sorry, what did I say? Parce que certains mots sont jamais stressés. Certains mots sont jamais stressés. Let me hear you say it.
Parce que certains mots sont jamais passés.
Lovely. Longer on your interest. Don't call it a stress, because when you call it a stress, I suppose you guys think of it as percussive. Think of it as a lengthening focus of interest. Parce que certains mots sont jamais stressés, my mistake. Parce que certains mots sont jamais stressés.
Parce que certains mots sont jamais stressés.
Lovely. Notice we can only do this work because we've been working on keeping our mouth closed and going in long joined up sentences. Good. Maggie, if somebody manages to choose the interesting things before saying them, it's excellent. If somebody manages to choose the interesting things before saying them, it's excellent.
Si quelqu'un réussit à choisir les choses intéressantes avant
saying them?
Avant les disait.
Stand still. First bit, perfect French. Second bit, an anal explosion of filth. People manage to think of the interesting things before saying them. Who's thinking of the interesting things?
The people, have I missed?
And who's saying them? Were they to say them?
The people.
Same person or different person?
Same people.
What do we use with avant when it's the same person?
Avant de disait. When I say
avant de what?
Avant de dire. Sorry. Avant de dire.
Say for me before saying them.
Avant le dire. Avant le dire.
Avant de le dire.
Avant le dire. Avant le dire.
So listen, for example, in this bit. let's make a list. Some people do well. It used to be boys liked one thing and girls liked another. I'm not even joking. And you can imagine I'm not particularly gendered when it comes to education. I dislike that immensely. But I just always found that girls like to be told what not to stress, and men always seem to like to be told what to stress. It always seemed to work that way. Here's what we don't stress. We don't stress pronouns. We don't stress pronouns. Apart from in one example. Tom, can you think off the top of your head an example where we'd stress a pronoun?
Something like chez toi.
Say it again. Say it again.
You could say something like, oh, je vais venir chez toi.
Well, it's the end of the sentence for an information. Yes, that's not stupid. But what I mean is, if it were a pronoun like le, when could I stress a le in French? When? When's the only time I could stress a le?
If you were using an imperative and being like,
that's exactly correct. Fais-le, prends-le, mange-le. Obese, Mr. Rust and his pizza. Mange-la. Yeah, okay, good. But a part of the time, no. C'est ça, avant de le faire. Avant de le faire. Maggie, could you say that? Avant de le faire. Avant de le faire.
Avant de le faire.
Good. So don't equate it with speed. I want you to absolutely put no teeth clarity into de le. Avant de le faire. Slow down. Avant de le faire. Even slowly. Avant de le faire. The shitting blurry mess, other than the word you're stressing, is what you've got to aim for. Avant de le faire. Go on.
Avant de le faire.
That's lovely. But what is still there, people? The vowel. Le. Yeah. Not that much of a corruption, is it? It's just vowels. If only you had somebody who was furrowing his little gay brow to get you to listen to vowels rather than consonants. Good, Maggie. So put it together. If they manage to think of interesting things before they say them. If they manage to think of interesting things before they say them, go slowly. Have a go.
Si on réussit à penser de choses intéressantes avant de le dire.
Good. Put the iron on. Put it on hot. No steam, no vapor. I want it to scar. What fucking preposition comes after penser?
Penser à. What did I say?
Penser de. So say for me, s'ils arrivent à penser aux choses. S'ils arrivent. Penser de is a question concept. What do you think of Tom? Okay. So say for me, I'll send you some serious WhatsApps. So say for me, qu'est-ce que tu penses? Say for me, certaines personnes arrivent. Si on arrive à penser aux choses intéressantes, we also heard aller from you. Aller, no. Si on arrive à penser aux choses intéressantes. Si on arrive à penser aux
choses intéressantes.
No, I don't want ao, I want o. Si on arrive à penser au aux. Si on arrive à penser aux choses.
Si on arrive à penser aux choses intéressantes.
What's the interesting word? And the clue is in the fucking question. What's the interesting word in that sentence I've just given you?
Intéressant.
Intéressant, to drink your drink. Because it's anything that gets the heart rate a bit like, here's boring. Interesting. Oh, it's a choice. Yeah. Certain verbs could be choices. I'm going to slap you. That's a strong verb. Yeah. Tell, not particularly. Unless it's emphatic. Unless it's like literally to defend a point. I told you. Generally, Stuart told me that we were going to go out for dinner, so I'm going to go get something nice to wear. It's information. Yeah, nice would be the point. Yeah. Okay. So start thinking about what we stress. Good. Colin, that's not me. That's the chair. It's from Selfridges. It shouldn't make that kind of noise. No, Harrods. I am having difficulty finding a truck, a van, because I want to transport my plants from London. I'm having difficulty finding a truck or a van because I am having because I want to transport my plants from London.
J'ai des difficultés.
Stand still, I'm bored. I'm bored. I've given you this before many times. What's the word to have difficulty? J'ai du.
Oh, j'ai du mal. J'ai du mal.
Don't mess up. Learn it. Don't mess up. I'm having difficulty finding a truck. As soon as we stopped, beginning with a C, what's the word for a truck or a van?
Camion.
Good. So I'm having difficulty finding a truck. I want to transport my plants from London.
J'ai du mal à trouver le camion
Good. So
transporter.
the twangs are gorgeous. The accent is bang on point. Lovely. Listen to how it sounds to my brain. I'm having difficulty finding a truck. Perfect accent. But you take my point. So now, what's the human story? What's the human story?
Difficulties in the truck. Luc?
Lovely. Lovely. So I'm having difficulty finding a truck. What's the interesting word?
Finding a truck.
Good. So j'ai du mal. Tell me the human story. Oh, j'ai du mal à trouver un camion. J'ai du mal à trouver un camion. Go.
J'ai du mal à trouver un camion.
Lovely. Faster through everything else. J'ai du mal à trouver un camion. J'ai du mal à trouver un camion.
J'ai du mal à trouver un camion.
Lovely. Okay. I want to transport my plants from London. I want to transport my plants from London.
Je veux transporter
No,
mes...
that's not an interest. First verbs will never have interest. First verbs will never have interest. I want to transport my plants from London. Where's the interesting point?
Je veux transporter mes
What's the interesting
plants.
point? Yeah, lovely. Transport my plants. It's a bit random, isn't it? It's not fucking every day you get a van with your plants from a garden. Where je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres. Yeah. So we join as a stream together the words that are interesting. Transporter mes plantes. It becomes like a compound verb clause in the way that like a noun would be Stuart's grandchildren. Les petits enfants de Stuart. That becomes one thing. I've been playing with them. J'ai joué avec eux. I've been playing with the kids. Je joue avec les enfants. I've been playing with Stuart's kids. J'ai joué avec les enfants de Stuart. I've been playing with Stuart's grandchildren. J'ai joué avec les petits enfants de Stuart. It becomes like a compound thing, that bit. So that bit has got to have a sustained interest. So transporter mes plantes. So in other words, when you do this exercise, just speak, keep your hand there and push it forward when you're going to say something interesting. The signal's been a bit weird. Je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres. Je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres. Let me hear that.
Je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres.
Everything else is going to be shitty and blurry, Colin. Je veux transporter, and slow down on the interest. Je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres. Give me slow on the interest. Don't give me bang on the interest. Je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres. The voice can go higher. Je veux blah blah blah. Interesting blah 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 blah. Interesting blah 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 blah. Oui, je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres. Up you go.
Je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres.
Not plants, plant. I'll slap you if you say plant. I'll slap you if you say plant. Je veux transporter mes plantes de Londres.
Je vais transporter mes plantes.
Non, je vais, je veux.
Je veux le prendre.
Soften it. Je veux. Thank you. Good. Good. Lovely. Tom. Given. Oh, she's been a dumb bitch. I'm going off you, mate. I know you've got a page on Etsy. Lovely. Given what happened with the neighbours 3 years ago, when they took the piss out of me, although that one's died. Hurrah. Don't mean to be bad, but really. such a cunt, caused so much trouble. So given what happened with the neighbours a few years ago when they took the piss out of us, Les, Pat and I no longer care what they think of the garden. Given what happened a few years ago when they took the piss out of us, Les, Pat and I don't care what they think about the garden. Given what happened a few years ago when they took the piss out of us, Les, Pat and I don't care what they think about the garden. Off you go.
Vous, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé il y a plusieurs ans quand on s'en foutu de jardin, les et moi, nous s'en fout plus.
Stand still. The first sentence was majestically good. Majestically. Remember the following points. You guys will always find the sentences harder as they go on. So don't go like a bat out of hell on sentence number 1, because you'll be showing up the shitness of sentence numbers 3 and 4. Go slowly enough to buy yourself thinking time and it not to be obvious. Listen again. Given what happened with the neighbours a few years ago, when they took the piss out of us, Les, Pat and I don't give a fuck about what they think of the garden. We're just going to do what we want. You know, given what happened a few years ago when they took the piss out of us, Les and I don't give a fuck what they think about the garden.
Vu que ce qui s'est passé il y a plusieurs ans avec les voisins, les et moi s'en
We've missed a
fout
sentence. When they took the piss out of us.
quand il s'est foutu de sa gueule de le jardin. Oh, quand il s'est
That's
foutu.
much better. They took the piss out of us. They took the piss out of us.
Quand il s'est foutu de sa gueule de nous.
No. Listen to Auntie Lukey. There are 2 verbs going on here which are very, very, very similar. Would you please say for me, Tom, I don't care. I don't care.
Je m'en fous.
Because it's an on in the middle, people think it can only exist with an on, but it doesn't. It is an ABC. It is a, well, you tell me, what colour is je m'en fous? What colour is that, Tom?
Je m'en fous. It's red if it's got an on.
Marry me. Well fucking done. So the fact is, if I were to replace the on and restore it to its rightful place as being a preposition, which preposition would it be giving me?
Yeah.
Good. And one can say that. People always think it's je m'en fous. It is not je m'en fous de some shit. It is je me fous de some shit. Piaf sings about this. Je me fous du passé. Non, rien de rien. Yeah, I don't care about the past. Okay, so se foutre. So say for me, Tom, he doesn't care about my car. He doesn't care about my car.
Il s'en fout de ma voiture.
No, I've just bloody gone to the point of bloody telling you.
Il se fout de ma voiture.
Lovely. Now go again and use your new which words we're stressing superpower to get the French into your body more. Il se fout de ma voiture.
Il se fout de ma voiture.
Don't creep into the past. It's the present tense. Il se fout de ma voiture.
Il se fout de ma
No,
voiture.
not il ça. There's no ça. Il se.
Il se fout de ma voiture.
Lovely, sir. You always go, what's the gay giving me to bloody focus on now voice-wise? The more you copy this, the more you'll hear it in other people. Il se fout de ma voiture.
Il se fout de ma voiture.
Lovely, nice. That was very, very good indeed. That is to not give a shit about. If you take someone's face into the equation, that is then going to be about taking the piss. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You need someone's face. Il se fout de ma gueule. Je me fous de ta gueule. Il se fout de nos gueules. Je me suis foutu de la gueule de Stuart. Stuart s'est foutu de ma gueule. Yeah, all right. So say for me, they took the piss out of us. They took the piss.
Il s'est foutu de nous.
Where's girl? And it's they, not he.
Il s'est foutu de...
Not he. They, not he.
Ils se sont foutus de notre gueule.
We have more than one face between us.
De
Plural.
notre gueule.
Plural. Ours.
De notre gueule.
Plural.
De son? What?
No, what's the plural of notre?
Notre?
No.
No, no, Jesus Christ.
It
De
is
no.
not. You're a fucking
No.
reader. I've always
No.
pinned you down as a reader, haven't you? I had your number day one. What is our plural? No.
No.
Thank you. Save me. They took the piss out of us. Ils se sont foutus de nos gueules. Listen to the rhythm. Ils sont foutus de nos gueules. Bleu, 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 foutu, bleu, 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 bleu. Ils se sont foutus de nos gueules.
Ils se sont foutus de nos gueules.
Isn't that nice on him? Yeah?
Ils se sont foutus.
Play with this, people. This rhythm shit ain't going anywhere. Okay? Lovely. I thought we needed a project. I thought we needed to kick shit up a little bit. Ils se sont Colin was just beginning to feel reasonably comfortable. So say to me, ils se sont foutus de nos gueules. Ils se sont foutus de nos gueules. Think of it as pushing the foutu forward and the rest is coming back. Blah, 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 push, blah, blah, blah. Ils se sont foutus de nos gueules.
Ils se sont foutus de nos gueules.
Lovely. All right. Now the final bit. We don't care about what they think of the garden. We don't care about what they think of the garden. Just do what we fucking want now. We don't, the public area. We don't care about what they think of the garden. You've got a similar verb which has just been going on.
Nous nous foutons de ce qu'ils pensent au jardin. Ce qu'ils pensent au jardin.
Now, as much as I like to press with pense à, why is it pense de here? Because
You're
it's
thinking
an
of it
opinion. Yeah?
rather than about it. Yeah.
Opinion. Yeah? On se fout de ce qu'il pense du jardin. On se fout de ce qu'il pense du jardin. On se fout de ce qu'il pense du jardin. Blah, 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 shh, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 shh, blah, blah, blah. On se fout de ce qu'il pense du jardin. Have a go.
On se fout de ce qu'ils pensent du jardin.
Keep your teeth closer together on the bit that isn't stressed. I cannot say that enough. It's like having, hello. All right, darling. It's two voices. It is. I go back to my ex-husband. Oh God. I'm not making light of any form of schizophrenic umbrella disorder. If anybody is suffering from that, by all means, reach out and try and get help. And I just hope you're more second generation antipsychotic responsive than he was. Good, but yeah, voices. So say for me, on se fout de ce qu'il pense. On se fout de ce qu'il pense du jardin. You cannot do it Frenchly enough. You cannot do it French enough unless you literally go, oui, on se fout de ce qu'il pense du jardin. Ce qu'il pense du jardin. Ce qu'il pense du jardin.
On se fout de ce qu'ils pensent du jardin.
De skill.
Ce ski.
No, listen to me. De skill.
De ski.
Imitate me.
De ski. On se fout de ce qu'ils pensent du jardin.
No, you're trying to do words. Imitate me. Copy my sound. Be me. Imitate my voice. I won't be remotely offended. De skill.
De ski.
Lovely. De ce qu'il pense.
De ce qu'ils pensent.
De ce qu'il pense du jardin.
De ce qu'ils pensent du jardin.
Lovely. On se fout de ce qu'il pense du jardin.
On se fout de ce qu'ils pensent du jardin.
Borderline. All right. Good. Borderline. As Madonna sang. Right. Good. All right. Good. So are we familiar then, people? The verb se foutre de is to not give a shit about. And se foutre de someone's girl is to take the piss. They are both hugely everyday verbs in French. Hugely. Take the piss is used with finance as well. 10 balles, putain, mais qu'est-ce que tu te fous de ma gueule? 10 fucking euros, you taking the piss? Yeah. All right. Denise. Luke, you're taking the piss because you should double the price of the class. Luke, you're taking the piss. You should double the price of the price of the class. The price of the class. Luke, you're taking the piss. You should double the price of the class.
Luc, tu devrais te...
No, we've missed no. Be nice if people listened. Luke, you're taking the piss. You should double the price of the class.
Luc, tu
Stand still. I ain't happy, Denise. I've just spent 5 fucking minutes on that verb. What is the infinitive of to take the piss?
Se foutre
Carry on.
de ma gueule.
Of someone's girl.
Of someone's
girl. So if we're saying, Luke, you're taking the piss, it needs to be sent somewhere. Whose girl can we use if Luke, you're taking the piss? Who is he taking the piss out of? Or in this case, you know, not being serious?
All of us.
Lovely. So whose girl are we going to use?
No.
Thank you. Off you go. Luke, you're taking the piss.
Luc, tu te fous de nos gars.
Lovely. You should double the price. The price. You should double the price of the class.
Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours.
Good. Now at human speed.
Luc, tu te fous de nos gars.
I want you to stay at Denise. Calm pace. That's lovely, but I need more interest. Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. In and out gently, but with fucking interest. Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours. You can be feminine, you can be upsy downsy, but you don't have to race, but you need human interest. Up you go. Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours. All the way through. I don't want a massive sit and rest in the middle.
Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler le prix de nos cours.
Du cours.
Du cours.
And again, Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours.
Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler.
No. What did I say earlier about the first verb? Did I say we had to stress the first verb?
No.
No. Good. Tu devrais doubler. Yeah.
Tu devrais doubler le prix de
No, if you mean made to go faster earlier, you will try and fit in a pause in later. If you don't do it later, you do it earlier. Don't take a pause. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours.
Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours.
Lovely. Now, both sentences, no hiding or sitting on a rock like the Little Mermaid. I want all the way through. Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours. Get used to using that much French. Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours.
Luc, tu te fous de nos gueules. Tu devrais doubler le prix du cours.
We got a bit of a rallentando at the end, but borderline. All right, good. All right, fucking work on double sentences, people, because ideas generally come in at least 2 to 3 sentences. Good. Nathan.
Sorry, just before I have to go, I'm sorry, early tonight. Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
Maggie, would you do one for me? Maggie, do one more for me. One more for me. So say for me, if Maggie'd reminded me that she was going, I would have taken the piss out of her. If Maggie had reminded me she was going, I'd have taken the piss out of her. She did in the text message. I just mean like in the group. So if Maggie had reminded me she was going, I'd have taken the piss out of her.
Si Maggie m'avait rappelé elle...
That she was going.
Oh, qu'elle va partir.
She was
Elle
was going.
Elle est partir.
Or qu'elle partait. Yeah, okay.
Lovely.
I would have taken the piss out of her.
Je me serais foutre de sa gueule.
All good, apart from one word. Are we on the top line or the bottom line when we say je me serais? Are we top line or bottom line?
We're bottom.
Good, lovely. Top or bottom, an important question. And so basically, what's the past participle of foutre that we've been playing with?
Oh, foutu.
Lovely.
Ah, okay. All right. Tu
serais foutu de sa gueule. And foutu is going to get the stress. It's a powerful word. Ouais, je me serais foutu de sa gueule. Je me serais bleu. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule.
Tu t'es foutu de sa
gueule. Non. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule. I need to shave. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule.
Je me serais foutu de sa gueule.
Don't give me the spoonerism of tofu. That sounds like some Nigerian food. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule. Je me serais foutu
de sa gueule.
Je me serais foutu de sa gueule. Je
Je
me
me
ferais
serais foutu de sa gueule.
Good, all right. Bleu and foutu, Maggie, one more time. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule.
Je me serais foutu de sa gueule. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule.
Non, foutre, foutu. Je me serais foutu de sa gueule.
Je me serais foutu de sa gueule.
De
Je me
sa
serais
gueule.
foutu de sa gueule.
Good, all right. This, which words we're stressing, is super, super, super freaking important. Good. Well done, Maggie. Go,
Thank
Stacey.
you. Good night, guys.
Good. Lovely. Stuart. Nathan, did you do one? Or did Maggie?
No.
No. Maggie interrupted you, she took the piss out of you. Maggie interrupted you, she took the piss out of you.
Maggie m'a interrompu.
When I say you, use you. Don't make first person, second person, first person. Maggie took the piss out of you. Sorry, Maggie interrupted you, she took the piss out of you. Yeah, okay.
Maggie t'a interrompu, elle s'est foutue de ta gueule.
Good, smoothly with no.
Yeah, what's the interrompre?
Elle t'a interrompu ou elle t'a coupé la parole?
Coupé la parole. Elle t'a coupé la parole, elle s'est foutue de ta gueule.
Lovely, but her name is Maggie. I want to hear her name. Maggie t'a coupé la parole. Maggie t'a coupé la parole, elle s'est foutue de ta gueule.
Maggie t'a coupé la parole, elle s'est foutue de ta gueule.
Lovely. Okay. Good. So you're in your debate thing in Boston. You've gone on the mission and you've killed the person I needed to kill. You're there and you're in a seminar and you say no, and they say, oh, this is the best book I've ever read and ever read. And you say, what the fuck, are you taking the piss? To my girl? Yeah, okay. Lovely. Stuart. If they'd known that I had a knife, nobody would have ever taken the piss out of me. If they'd known that I had a knife, nobody would have ever taken the piss out of me. If I had known. If I had known.
Si j'avais su.
Good. That. Right. So apologies. We've got that with an I. When we've got an I in, we're now good. We're now good because we know we can practice it with I. Now make it if they had known that I had a knife.
S'ils en avaient.
If they had known. Just say that for me. If they had known.
If they had known.
Now say it in French. S'ils avaient
su.
That I had a knife. Description in the past. Description in the past that I had a knife.
Que j'ai
Description in the past.
Que j'avais
Good. Listen to Lukey. We talked about this before, people. You guys are so trained in was than would, or would than was. What did I say last week? You can have more than one sentence in either part. Do you remember, guys? You can have like, if they knew this, that I had this and was going to do this, and that Tom was coming, that Nathan was whatever, and Colin had gone to the shop, and Stuart was bringing the wine. Then we would, you can have plenty of sentences, all in the was group. Likewise, you could have plenty in the would. If Stuart were free, we would meet him. Tom would bring some wine. Colin would bring da-da-da. We would all have a drink. It would be lovely to hang out. We could have loads in the would group. We can have any number in both. But you guys go, oh, first sentence was, second sentence got to be would. Oh, no. So if I had known, si j'avais su that you had a knife, that if he'd known, if they'd known, s'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau, lovely. Nobody would have taken the piss out of me. Nobody would have taken the piss out of me.
Personne n'aurait jamais.
Stand still. Say for me, he got washed. I'm not going to give you any grammar. I'm just going to give you a series of sentences that get gradually harder. Say for me, he got washed.
Il s'est lavé.
Lovely. Nobody got washed.
Personne ne s'est lavé.
Nobody took the piss out of me.
Personne personne n'a pris.
Bloody hell. What verb are we just playing with for the past 20 minutes? Se foutre de la gueule de quelqu'un. Yeah? Reflexive use of foutre. Right. Say for me, nobody, and then just use foutre in the reflexive. What's the past tense of foutre? What's the past tense of foutre, Stuart? What's the past participle?
Foutre.
Good. So say for me, nobody. Just do that. Nobody, and then use that. Go as far as the foutu, and then we'll stop, and we'll carry on after in a moment. So say for me, nobody. Just say nobody foutu themselves. Just pop that in the reflexive. Personne s'est.
Personne s'est foutu.
Good. Now add of me using the girl. Personne s'est foutu.
C'est foutu de ma gueule.
Lovely. Now make one little teeny tense change and say nobody would have. Personne se.
Personne. Oh, sorry, that's right. Personne se serait foutu de ma gueule.
That was such a complete 0 to 60. Well done. Now put the two together. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau, personne se serait foutu de ma gueule. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau, personne se serait jamais foutu de ma gueule.
Si ils avaient que j'avais
Good, but before we go any further, just say that with the right stresses. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau. Sorry, Stuart. I am just perplexed and bewildered / impressed. This is the skin. This is the secret to Nathan's beautiful pinky complexion. How much fucking fluid do you drink in a car? Do you know what I mean? Are you on dialysis? I mean, it's like, is there a catheter in you? Like, my God,
I'm just spreading class. I'm just bullets.
I'm super impressed. Are you, Stuart? Good God, the man gets more liquid down him than you know. Good. I want to see it coming out of like a brown paper bag, like the Alki in Total, in Home Alone. Good. So Stuart, listen to me. Get the stress in. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau, su un couteau, and practice put everything else in the blur. Stuart. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau.
S'ils avaient su. Sorry.
Freudian slip. There's no sucking going on. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau.
S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau.
I don't want any pauses from you. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau. Now the next balance, Stuart. Personne se serait jamais foutu de ma gueule. Personne se serait jamais foutu de ma gueule. The only shit I want there is jamais. Personne to a degree, but jamais. Personne se serait jamais. Personne se serait jamais foutu de ma gueule. Non, personne se serait jamais. Personne se serait jamais.
Personne ne serait jamais.
Stuart, listen to Auntie Luki. Fuck the no. Fuck the no off. Personne se serait. You are right. It should be personne ne se serait jamais, but fuck it off. Personne se serait jamais de ma gueule. Personne se serait jamais de ma gueule.
Personne ne serait jamais de ma gueule.
Good. Nice rhythm. That sounds French.
It's more of I think it's more of a Britishism to take the piss out of it.
Oh, I totally know.
We would say you're fucking with me.
Yes, but you said it every single time, and I have also gone over it. You guys bring that up every single time. I don't apologise for my British half, but you know what it fucking means, and you know what the expression is, so nobody forget it.
First time Tom, and he starts saying this thing, and I'm like, what the fuck is Tom saying? And I was trying to think of what it was.
Because you mentioned this when I used to do classes with you years ago. It came up. Because we didn't do this verb, but I used that expression, and I distinctly remember you saying, because I remember explaining to you how we don't tend to use it without off. We tend to say, oh, he's really pissed off, or I pissed him off. Whereas you guys might say, oh, he's really pissed with me, or like rather than the off. That's a joke. Why did the condom fly around the room? Because it was pissed off. So, Colin, say for me, if they'd known that I had a knife, nobody would have taken the piss. Carrying a knife is dumb. If you carry a knife, either with gangs or otherwise, you are cruising for fucking trouble. Be very, very fucking careful and get help. Off you go.
S'ils avaient su que j'avais un couteau, tu me foutrais de la gueule.
No. Pause. What in essence is the verb se foutre de? It is a what verb. It is an a. It is an a. An
Soft
a.
art.
Stay the fuck awake. It is a reflexive with a dick on the end. That is what kind of verb? An a. AB.
Oh, it's ABC.
Wake up. What is it? What is it? It's an
ABC verb.
good girl. What is an ABC verb? What have I just called it? It is a
Reflexive.
It is reflexive with a dick. You just don't like saying dick. That's right. I nearly said the word dick. Dick was on the tip of my tongue. So basically, if you use that concept, what are they all? What are ABC verbs? They are also what verbs? They're also
They're reflexive.
lovely. So do we have any business saying tu and mu in a reflexive arrangement?
No.
No. Off you go. So nobody, which is equivalent to a he, she, it, plus we've just done it. Personne se serait foutu de ma gueule. Go.
Personne se serait foutu de la gueule.
Pause. We've just done this bastard sentence for 6 times. I don't like doing it again when it's somebody new. It means they're not listening. Personne se serait foutu de ma gueule. Nobody would have done themselves off my face. Have they? Not recently. Personne se serait foutu de ma gueule. Personne se serait... There's always besoin song. Personne se serait foutu de ma gueule.
Personne se serait foutu de ma gueule.
No, this is shoddy listening. If it's se serait, it is an adaptation of the... It's an adaptation, sorry, of the auxiliary.
Auxiliary. Right.
What comes after the auxiliary?
The past participle.
Lovely. I'm disappointed in you, Colin. You're not listening today because you said past rather than past. Normally, I can be should say past. Lovely. So the fact is, we're not going to be saying foutre, are we?
No.
Why did you want to say foutre? Because notice this, people. You interrupted it with a jamais. So you guys lose the point of where you are in the sentence when you have an adverb. Ils se seraient jamais foutus. So it's like you guys go, when I teach people to say il a mangé, and they say, oh, il a fini, they go, il a bien fini, or something, it'd be like a different verb afterwards. It's still a past participle. So say for me, ils se sont jamais foutus. Ils se seraient jamais foutus. Ils se seraient jamais foutus.
Ils se seraient jamais foutus.
Foutu, no, foutu. Ils se seraient jamais foutus. Ils se seraient jamais foutus.
Ils se seraient jamais foutus.
That's nice. Ils se seraient jamais foutus de ma gueule. Ils se seraient jamais foutus de ma gueule.
Ils se seraient jamais foutus de ma gueule.
Gal is Wales. Yeah, no one takes a percent of Wales with me. Lovely. Tom. The same sentence, the same stresses, altered without the jamais in the second half. Yeah. If they'd known I had a big knife, they wouldn't have taken if they'd known I had a little, Tom, if they'd known I had a tiny penis, no, they'd have taken the piss. I need an expression. If they'd known I had a small knife, they'd have taken the piss. They'd known I'd had a small knife, they'd have taken the piss. Without, jamais. Notice how the stresses are going to change. They'd known I had a small knife, they'd have taken the piss.
S'il avait su que j'avais un petit couteau, il se serait foutu de ma gueule.
Lovely. Notice the stress there is foutu, not il se serait jamais foutu. Notice when we have the jamais, it steals. Adverbs steal from verbs. J'ai bien mangé, j'ai mangé. J'ai mangé une pizza. J'ai bien mangé. Yeah? Colin eats pizza. Okay? Adverb steal. C'est très intéressant. C'est intéressant. C'est très intéressant. Adverb steal. Adverbs are thieves. All right? Lovely. Un petit couteau. Alors, s'ils avaient su, s'ils avaient. Can you just say s'ils avaient correctly for me, please? S'ils avaient.
S'ils avaient,
That's it. S'ils avaient su. S'ils avaient su.
s'ils avaient su,
S'ils avaient su que j'avais.
s'ils avaient, s'ils avaient, bleh, s'ils
You
avaient
can
su
don't
que
say
j'avais-
blur. If you say blur, your mouth feels big. Do you remember what I always say to you guys? My house, middle of the night. Those of you that are allowed out of the dungeon. Mouth loose. S'ils avaient su. S'ils avaient su que j'avais.
s'ils avaient su que j'avais,
That's it. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau.
s'ils avaient su que
Look at
j'avais,
Lukey, look at Lukey. It won't work if you don't push it out on the chest. S'ils avaient su que
s'ils
j'avais
avaient
un petit
su que
couteau.
j'avais un petit couteau,
Lovely. More chest pressure, Tom. That was lovely.
Si.
More chest pressure. It doesn't feel constitutionally the same to be French as it does to be English in language. It feels different here in terms of your wind and your pressure in your chest. It just feels different. It's quite there's a lot you can read into that and analyze with that, but there is. It just feels different. Feel the pressure differently. Oui, alors s'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau.
oui, s'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau,
That's so nice. That drives it through. Yeah. That's what drives it through. If you're pushing there enough, you will automatically keep the previous word going. Lovely. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau, s'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau, ils se seraient foutus de ma gueule. Ils se seraient foutus de ma gueule. Drive it through. Do the tickle noise.
s'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau, il se serait foutu de ma gueule.
That's a lot better, isn't it? That's nice. Good. Den, you'll go. Same sentence.
S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau,
No, petit couteau. Couteau.
s'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau, ils seraient foutus de ma gueule.
Where's reflexive?
Ils se seraient foutus de ma gueule.
Lovely. S'ils avaient su que j'avais. Just copy me. Just copy me on the blur. S'ils avaient.
S'ils avaient.
S'ils avaient su.
S'ils avaient su.
That's fucking brilliant. Copy the sound, don't copy the words. S'ils avaient su que j'avais. S'ils avaient su que j'avais. Don't even care what it means, just imitate the noise. What's the noise? What's the animal noise? S'ils avaient su que j'avais.
S'ils avaient su que j'avais.
That's fucking copying. That's proper copying. Well done. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit. Stretch how much you can copy. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit.
S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit.
Nice, Denise. That's brilliantly better. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau. Couteau, couteau. If you're imitating, you won't go the wrong bell. Colin, get your pussy out of the camera. Off you go. S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau.
S'ils avaient su que j'avais un petit couteau.
Lovely. Couteau, not koto. All right?
Couteau.
Good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good. Right, I'm going to stop the recording. 1 second. People, if you're watching at home, there's a money link, which is Kofi. This is the finest French tuition you can buy. Let's be fucking frank. Really? And a pun on words on frank intended. Charlemagne and Frank. Right. Good. Yeah. Podcast. Yeah. Me, my number, WhatsApp underneath. Yeah, whatever. You know the score. To remind you all that there's an Instagram for smaller stories. Let me just stop the record.